Hello, everyone. It's Diane Marie at Crow's Nest Studio. And I just wanted there's two things today. First, I wanted to talk about a little bit about my philosophy. I'm kind of a closet philosopher slash psychologist. Um, my philosophy about what's happening in the world right now and the state of just hatred just hatred everywhere. And I really do believe that that comes from raising children wrong. Myself, I was raised not to make a big deal about myself. I was told that I was never going to be anything really special. You know, don't go thinking that about yourself. Bragging was like a sin in our house. You never got to talk about anything that you did well excitedly. You just said, "Well, yeah, I did okay. It was all right." You had to downplay it. And I think that was common. I really do. And it carries over into our self-esteem, just about ourselves. And I see this in people so much where they're afraid to step outside of this little box that they have in their head about how they should be, and it carries over into our identities, um, our sexuality. Um, it's just this cultural massacre, I think, really. We could be so much more grounded and level and not feeling like we need to hate everyone who's different than us if we are taught that we're great, we're fine just the way we are, and that we get to celebrate the things that we're good at, right? Um, I think that people, the biggest haters in the world, are the ones who have been squashed the tightest. I think Hitler must have been squashed to like tiny to have that much rage and hatred in him. Um, I've battled with it myself after the upbringing that I came up in. Not only that whole emotional thing, but there was physical abuse as well. So um, I learned to be as small and as quiet and as out of sight as possible. And it took years and years and years of starting to grow and take chances and become. Meanwhile, all the crap that I was not dealing with from my upbringing was contributing to my alcoholism, which eventually almost killed me. Um, that that's what's going on here, and that's the addiction thing too. That's at the base of that kind of addiction. Is It's not party time and you party too hard. That's not what that's about at all. It's covering over stuff that hurts, that you can't deal with. That's addiction, and so all of this ties together, you know, of about the sickness of our society and where it comes from. I think about it all the time. I mean, my brain goes 100 miles an hour 24/7. I mean, even when I'm sleeping, it's, um, and this is what I'm painting, and these thoughts are just, just like rapid fire thoughts, scattergun. I can't even grab it all. But the really big things that come to me like this, realization and summation and stitching all of these things together, those things I can hang on to. And those are the things that I want to talk to you about. And I want to talk about celebrating ourselves. It doesn't matter how old we are, really. It doesn't. But particularly with children, let them celebrate themselves, celebrate them. I'm not saying you're not doing that, but it's just a reminder, you know? It's just a little reminder. Because we forget, we get busy and stuff, but I think we don't realize maybe how important that is, you know? You need to feed that part of a child's psyche, as much as you need to feed them food and water and shelter. I mean, that's all part of it. And I don't think that we as society understand that. I've never found anything where people have put all those things together. I'm continually researching and looking for it, but I haven't found it yet. Not quite. I find some stitching together, but more often than not, they get something's off about what they say, and it's like, well, where'd you get that? That doesn't work. And so anyway, that's my thought about the world today and society and celebrating ourselves. And I'm celebrating myself with heart-shaped lips today in red lipstick. It was fire engine red, and I toned it down with brown and made it deeper red. They're both my mother's lipsticks, which I wear all the time. And I'm going to be so sad when they're gone. They're probably like 50 years old or something. Revlon, that's all she wore. Revlon Reds. Anyway, next thing I want to talk about, darlings. Yes, I know. I'm talking to you. You know who you are. Okay, darlings. I brought this up in my last video. These guys, these are, in case you missed it, these are water-soluble oil pastels. Okay? Um, I I don't know how to do a demonstration, but I just want to tell you that I don't know about any other brand or whatever, but these are amazing. I love them. I've seen a lot of negative videos on YouTube about people that have tried these types. I've never heard anybody talking about the water soluble ones though. They're hard to find. Um so maybe that's where it didn't make the jump. Because the people that don't have the water soluble ones don't seem to like them very much. There's one brand that they like, and then there's another brand, or maybe it's a different line of the same brand. I don't know. But they were like, these are good, these are not so good. And I tried these and I was like, are you kidding me? These are awesome. And I haven't even tried the paint yet. Just coloring with these, because they feel like crayons. They're really solid. And they're like my little chubby crayons that I stole from my brother. And so I love them all the more. But I have 24 of them, and they're really solid. And they're waxy. Um, but they're also kind of creamy in a way, but not creamy where it comes off on your hands. It's strange. It's hard to describe. But if you think about, even if you're not an artist, if you think about like a crayon, everybody knows how crayons are, and you cross that with kind of like a lipstick almost, but not as messy. It's not messy. It's really not. And the thing that's really cool is that, well, what you want to do is you want to start with the base of light colors. And then build to darker colors on top of that. Because what happens is when you take one color and you color over, I hate the light in here. When you color over the lower um, uh, layer, um, it starts to blend. The colors will blend, and so you can purposely do that or not. You know, you decide what you want to do with that. You can just like smudge part of it and get the blending, and then have the two separate colors in between the smudge. Um, and then there's the whole water thing. You know, I haven't even tried that yet, but so far I'm so having so much fun with these, and the color is really pigment rich, very pigment rich. It's not like crayons. You don't see the white through there. It's really pigment rich, and it's not smeary. You can't really smear it very much with your finger. You might be able to use I don't know, there's these paper um sticks, and they're pointed, and they're molded paper, and it's tightly wound and adhered somehow, but anyway, it makes a stick, a solid stick of paper, and they're for blending things like charcoal and that kind of stuff. And I think those would work with these. I'm going to try that today. Um, and then I saw a video of one guy that was trying to use the ones that don't have the water soluble option. Um, and he was one of the ones that didn't really like them as much as the other ones that he had, whatever those were. But he said one thing that he really did like, and I'm going to try this, is you can put the color down and you can scrape parts of it away, and you can make either a thick swatch and just kind of make like a, I don't know, it lightens it. It's hard to describe, but it lightens it. It's like it bleaches it out almost or something. That's kind of what it looks like. It looks like it's bleached out when you scrape it away with like the edge of a credit card. But then he took a pointed thing, I'm not sure what that was, and he scratched little lines in it, and the color from underneath came through. He had two colors, one on top of the other, and the color underneath came through. Actually, he had a bunch of colors. So as he scraped around, you could see, okay, we're going into purple over here. Now it's yellow. Now it's green. You know, it was so cool. So I want to try that too. So anyway, that's my news for today and whatnot. Haven't heard if I've sold any more paintings at Cora McCorvey, but I'm hopeful. At least I sold one. I'm so happy and grateful. That is my first piece that I sold in a show outside of La Pointe. Yay! I'm in the game, you guys. Anyway, so portfolio series, that's what these are if you want to check them out. And these were, you get 24 of these for $11. Or, well, I have a business account, so it might be more for you, but on Amazon. And but these can be really expensive. I've seen them as much as like $20 for 12 of them. So check these out. And that was other brands too. So I don't know. Anyway, I hope whatever you're doing, you're having as much fun as I am. Talk to you soon.